Good morning, everybody. 10 a.m. It's time for our MicroMoment Trading podcast. We have Tim with us here today. We have Randy, myself, Joe Hooper, and our friends Deshaun is traveling. He's on the road, so he won't be here. And Micah had a meeting outside of his office. He couldn't be here. We'll take the load today. If you want to check us out, go to www.micromomenttrading.com. And it's our website. We have everything we're going to be talking about today on there, all the various programs we offer. You can sign up for the free Cow Report, which has been published for over 20 years. And it comes every Friday to you, emailed to you every Friday. It's got emails in there from all our clients. Take all these various services and what they're and the questions they ask, and these guys answer to those questions. So you learn so much from the Cow Report, and they're all Randy's. Emails are in there, and Tim and Micah and Deshaun, and so it's real good. It's like I say, it's free, totally, absolutely free. Sign up for it, and you can also sign up for Randy's courses and our regular MicroMoment trading courses. Randy still has the most things on there. He's got lots of charting, classes, and lots of regular covered calls and synthetic covered calls. So he has all kinds of stuff on there, and you can contact him from that website really, really easily. One thing I want to mention before we get too far in, we have a one-day live seminar coming up August the 29th. That's a Saturday, and the purpose of this, Tony Johnston is a gentleman who was in the original MicroMoment trading sessions in the morning along with Micah. And he was in the National Guard. He got called up. So he's been gone for a number of months, but he's reappearing, you might say, on the 29th. We're doing this little MicroMoment Trading one-day seminar. We've only done one seminar before. It was in Fort Worth, and just a couple of weeks before, it's in March, a couple of weeks before all this virus stuff hit. And so we don't know when we'll be doing another. So this was going to be online, and you have until the full price of $750. It's discounted through this Sunday at $500, and so. But after Sunday, you won't get the discount. It will be online, and it's August 29th. And the sheet I'm looking at doesn't say the time, but I'm sure it's 9:00 Central, which is when we normally have those 9:00 Central to about 3 or 4 in the afternoon. It's called the MicroMoment Trading One-Day Seminar. You can go to the website, and you can sign up for it off the website, and I'll be putting out an email to all our clients later on today that has the date in it, which kind of help. Okay, we had a heck of a day today on our MicroMoment trading session, which is every morning from 8:30 to 8:30 Central to 9:30, and then if these gentlemen, Micah and Deshaun and Tim, decide to come back later on, either individually or together, that generally is going to happen around 12 to 3 o'clock Central. You'll be notified. You'll be notified with a text to your cell phone. And it's really, really super. You learn how to do everything. I'll have Tim describe it here in a minute. They do actual trades. Today, they just did some fantastic trades, and they're up so far this week. Well, today, they were up just for today 22.21%. The first part of the week was kind of slow, but they're up so far this week 50.71. So you can see we could make in the 20 or 30 tomorrow and end up being pretty close to our average. For the 50, we're into the 70, what week here? Hold on a minute. We're into the 67th week since it became a subscription service, and we've averaged 93.02% a week. So it's quite a service. You see their trades. They teach you exactly and precisely how to do this based on our proprietary chart. And chart tells you when to get in, when to get out. And it's really, I'll let Tim address all that here in a minute. But first, let's talk to Randy. Randy has been with us a long time, 17, 18 years, and he's beginning to show it. He used to be, he was yeah, but he's showing it now. It's okay, Randy. Yeah. And Randy, tell them what you do, the service you offer, and everything. But one more thing. If you want to say something, just type in whatever there, and it will appear, and it'll appear for everybody to see it, and we'll read it off, and we'll answer any questions you might have or any comments you might have. Go ahead, Randy.
Well, I actually teach a couple of different coaching services. One of them kind of goes along with what Tim and Micah do, but it's slower. It's called momentum trading with our advanced charting uh, proprietary charts. And these are developed by MicroMoment Trading, and you can't get them anywhere else. And those charts help identify the beginning of the new rising cycles. So it's good for an ETF, it's good for a stock, it's good for an index. And so we teach you how to read those charts, how to interpret them. It actually is a combination of 21 different technical indicators all rolled into one chart. And we teach a really easy to learn, easy to understand process of when the beginning of the rising cycle is. And then we just simply buy a call, wait till it goes up and sell it for a profit. So that's a every Monday morning live in the market coaching webinar. And then the webinars are actually then recorded, and you can watch them later on over and over and over again as many times as you wish. So they're presented live, but then they're recorded while that's going on. And so you don't actually have to be there to take advantage of the training. You can watch it later on that night or the next day or the weekend or whenever. And once you learn how to read those charts, it enhances any decision that you make for any type of trading. It doesn't have to just be momentum trading. Anything that you're doing, whether it's covered calls, credit spreads, leaps, in any trading, it gives you the ability to almost look into the future to say, this is where the equity is going. So that's every Monday. And then on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I have coaching sessions for covered calls. And a covered call, for those that don't know, a covered call is you buy a stock and you sell an option against it, which gives the ability for someone else to buy the stock back from you at a set price up to a set date. They pay you to do that. So it's like renting a house. They're paying you money, whether they end up buying your stock or not, you keep their money. And that's the income that we have for basically every week now, because there's so many equities that have weekly options. And so we teach you how to do that. And we do it a little different than anybody else will, because we're doing it with in the money covered calls. That means that the stock can go up and you get called out. And the goal is to be called out, which means you get all your money back and you keep the rent that they paid you. It could go up, you get called out. It could go sideways, you get called out. It could even go down and you still get called out. So the stock can basically do almost anything, and you're still successful. And that's with the proprietary techniques that Joe has developed over all the years. And then on Thursday or on Wednesday mornings, I teach kind of an advanced covered call process using synthetic covered calls. So instead of buying the stock, which uses a whole lot of capital, we're able just to buy an option that gives us the right to buy the stock, and then sell an option against it that gives someone else the right to buy it back from us. And that enhances your overall return substantially and uses a lot less capital. So as Joe said, it kind of leverages your capital without ever borrowing anything. So we don't trade on margin, do not ever trade on margin. But with the synthetic cover calls, you can leverage your money where it doesn't take as much capital. And so,
give me an example of those Amazons that you just recently did. A tremendous leverage without any borrowed money whatsoever.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Last week, the Amazon that I entered, I bought the 3,025 call and sold the 3,030 against it. I only invested $4.10 per share. Amazon's trading at 3,213 today. So that one was called out. So I kept all the profit, got a 19.5% return for less than a week, and got all the capital back at the same time. And so that was just one of, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 positions that I opened last week, and closed them all out. And so far this week, I've got, I think 6 or 7 more. So the returns average between the lowest was 4.6% on Microsoft, and the highest was 25% on Roku. And the highest investment per share was the Amazon at $4.10. Most of them are only about 90 cents a share invested. So it doesn't take a whole lot of money either to actually implement these positions. You don't have to have hundreds of thousands of dollars. These positions are just a few $100s of your money invested to get those returns. So in fact, Joe, I already compounded my returns this week. I've done 2 SPY covered calls and already closed them out. So on Monday, I closed one for 8.6% return. That was entered on Friday, closed on Monday, only 90 cents a share invested. And then yesterday got closed out for another 9.8% return. And that was for one day. I entered it on Tuesday, closed it on Wednesday. The SPY, you can actually do it 3 times a week. That's unique to just the SPY, and the SPY is the ETF for the S&P 500 index. For those that aren't familiar with it,
yeah, so it's a good index.
They have expirations 3 times a week. So when we first started out many years ago, there was only a monthly option. That means you got paid once a month. Then about 2010 or so, the CBOE started adding weekly options. So now you can get paid 4 times a month. But with SPY, you can actually get paid 3 times a week. So we teach all how to do that.
Back in the olden days, you and I used to sit there and would put out a trade, and they had to stay in it for pretty much a month until the third Friday, and we were trying to make 3 or 4% for the entire month. And now, because of the things that the SEC's done, or CBOE, we can get out and make 3 or 4 or 5% a week. It's huge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Randy, what time are your calls?
Okay, on Wednesday morning, the covered call one begins at 11 Central Time. That one goes about 2 hours, a little bit longer sometimes. I like to teach a lot, so I give lots of information. Thursday evening, I have another covered call session that starts at 7 p.m. Central Time. And so, therefore, like people that work, during the daytime, they can attend a live session on Thursday evening, and those that are available to be live on Wednesday during the market can attend that one. Both of those are then recorded, so you don't have to actually be there in person. So there's lots of people that watch them later on. And then the Monday morning for the advanced charting is at 9:45 Central Time, 10:45, what I call market time, Eastern time. So it's after you guys are on.
Yeah.
On Monday, I actually moved the time a half hour later so that it wouldn't cross over with all those folks that are on the MicroMoment Trading every morning.
We appreciate that. If someone were just getting started with your services, Randy, how would you suggest what calls to attend, and how would you suggest they get started?
Yeah. Well, to get started, it's great to attend the 2-day cover call seminar or get the book so that you read that. But the coaching session is going to get you up to speed much, 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 much quicker because you get to see the teaching every single week. So to start with, it would be come to the Thursday evening. We call it the small group coaching session. So you get to ask your questions right there. I go through the charts. I do the analysis. We go through the various techniques. And the one thing I didn't mention is everything we teach is rule-based. It's a set of rules. You learn the rules and you follow the rules. And so I go through those week after week after week, answering people's questions and going through their positions and saying, what would the next step be if you're following the rules and those types of things. So it's a live interactive session that really gets you good training week after week after week, and you'll get up to speed much, much faster than just coming to the seminar once every couple of months.
Very good.
Okay. And Randy's been with us a real long time, and it's interesting that the CBOE, everything they've done over all these 20 odd years plus, have never done one single thing that has been disadvantageous for our technique. Not one single thing. And when Randy mentioned, he looks at creating these positions just like buying a house and renting it. And people that buy houses and don't rent them, if they're a rent house, obviously, are just leaving money on the table. A lot of people have stock because they think, well, it's going to go up. I want to own this stock, and I may sell it in a couple of years. Well, in the meantime, he has techniques that it's impossible to lose money. If you know how to do covered calls correctly, it's impossible to lose money. And when the prices of stocks are going to go up and down. And it doesn't make any difference if it goes up or down. He's able to maintain the cash flow that you were going to get when you got into it in the first place. If it goes down, sideways, or up, like you mentioned, you don't even have to get out of it. He's got a particular new program for people that own stock and never want to sell it because they love the dividends or their grandmother gave it to them or something like that. And he's got a technique for that where if you're getting 3% a year in dividends, he can get you 2 or 3% a month or a week. And you still get your dividends, and you can still keep your stock. You're never going to have to get out of it. Mm-hmm. So it's really
along those lines. There's actually one of the clients that's in the service. He has some Apple shares that he's had. I think he said he bought them at $56. So he's had them for a long time. So he finally, just like 2 months ago, started actually selling the out of the money calls on them. And so those shares that had just been sitting there doing nothing except for collecting the dividend every quarter, he has now earned over, I think he's up to over $1,000 a share now on $1,000 per 100. So that would be an extra $1 per share on that stock over the last about 8 or 9 weeks.
Which he was never getting before.
No, he wasn't getting that at all, and so he decided, well, I might as well start doing some of these things, and he's doing those out of the money calls. So by selling those, you're also you're participating in the appreciation. Apple's up to all-time highs at 460, so he's still getting that increase in the value of his stock at the same time that he's getting the rent from somebody that's paying him those premiums. So it's a great opportunity.
Well, yeah, if you're living off those dividends, that means you're living a lot better than had you not done this, and you've not risked anything. Not one single thing have you risked. It's just incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's earned about 3 times as much, I think, as what he would earn on a dividend. He's already earned that on selling those calls.
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that with any stock that they have.
Any stock that you have that you don't want to sell.
Yeah. And this is safe and allowable to do with what you hold in your 401k?
Yes.
Yep.
It's everything is all the techniques are approved by the IRS. In fact, I trade 3 different IRAs in my own accounts. I have one for my wife, my son, actually 4, my wife, my son, my daughter, and myself. So a lot of the positions are in our IRAs. It's
by the way, his daughter, who's happens to be gorgeous. Number one, she's been on a couple of cruises with us. I wish he had not been there, but she's gorgeous, and she's been trading. She uses this technique, and she's really, really good. She's probably better than Randy. Hell of a lot better looking.
I hope so, because someday I'm going to retire, and I'm going to say, you're going to do it, and she can support me now with.
There you go.
You have to teach somebody, because we're not going to be around for forever, and it's a great way for even the younger folks to even supplement their income, even if they're working full time. They can add on and really build up their retirement account, or add extra money during the month for
Well, yeah, I give an example for the MicroMoment trading, and it'd be the same thing with yours. You take $2,000, put it into an account, learn it using the virtual money trading portion of your platform, and when you get good at it, start $2,000. If you followed Tim and Micah and Deshaun, and you made 6% a week. Now they made 27% a day. Okay, they make 27% a day on average. If you just made 6% a week for 104 weeks, that's 2 years, whatever it is for 2 years. Mm-hmm. You've grown that $2,000 with never ever putting another penny in. Just keep reinvesting it and compound it to over $600,000 in 24 months. Just 6% a week. Now, they made 20-something, really more, because I didn't get part of their trades was after we started this, so I hadn't calculated them yet. A day. Pretty incredible stuff. And yours is the exact same thing. Compounding knows no bounds. It doesn't differentiate between your types of trading and their types of trading. So
and Joe, Now, I teach a couple of different processes, but I use all of the ones that are taught in MicroMoment Trading. So I even do Tim and Micah's technique, the actual MicroMoment Trading in and out in a very short period of time.
Yeah.
So I did 2 this morning before the webinar. I got 1.6% and 1.8%. So that's 3.4% return just today on that money, because I got to use the same money twice.
Yep.
There's a question for you. For how much out of the money did he sell on Apple during the earnings week, Randy? This is Bill.
Yeah. I'm not sure if he sold one for the earnings week. I think he waited till after the earnings so that he could wait to see what happened to it. But we have a process that if the stock continues to go up, that we keep moving the strikes higher and higher so that you don't get called out. But he's usually about $15 or $20 out of the money, I think, on most of them. But he's been moving it higher and higher as it's been going. So I think he's up to the 480 strike now.
Okay. Here's a question from Eric. The Fort Worth MicroMoment Trading seminar last year, means last March, was great. Are we able to attend the online one on the 29th as well? You can attend, but you're going to have to pay for it. That's why you need to get that discount. The reason is it's not the same seminar. This is a special one that Tony's doing, and it's going to be covering some things that were not covered in that one we did back in March, the live one. That was the very first one we did because we really, the first opportunity we had to do a MicroMoment live seminar. We did here in Fort Worth, and it was great. We limited to like 25 people, and they came from all over literally all over the world. And it was very successful. We had our standard Friday night free cocktail party and Friday and Saturday night dinner, all that kind of stuff. But this is a little different, and you don't get it free because you were at the first one. It's going to be a different seminar this time. So, wish we could do the other one, but we can't right now. We can't have cruises. That's a big, the big problem. We can't have we've been all over the world with our cruises, with our clients. So, but yeah, we'll come back again. So
yeah, I hope so.
Okay, Tim.
Better.
Hey, let's get over you now. Let me tell you something about Tim. See, look, watch his eyes. His eyes are really suspicious because he's sitting there. He's doing trades. I don't know how many trades he's done, but when I left him, I had always on Thursdays have to leave early from the sessions I attend every morning on MicroMoment Trading, and I left about 5 minutes after I left. He did like 5 or 6 trades for total. They did 11 trades total, so that means you end up 5, 16, 17 trades for the day. So he's a trade man, big trade man there. But if you watch his eyes, he's going from screen to screen, and he really makes him look suspicious. So yeah, Tim, what do you do?
My wife says I look suspicious anyway, so
there you go.
Just adds it. So myself and Micah and Dejan, we teach the MicroMoment service offering that we do, which is short-term trading. Our trades generally last less than 30 seconds. Used to be 30 to about 3 minutes, but since we had that massive downturn in the market in February, March, our times have become shorter, which is fine. We don't care. We just look for direction. We use the ice charts, and we look for short-term changes in direction, short-term momentum. With the charts give us indications with all the ice charts, which are made up of several hundred data points that go into it, allow us a little glimpse into the future. It lets us see when things are changing. We take advantage of that. When we see a change in direction to the call side or the put side, we can jump in for a short-term gain. Most of our gains are between 4 cents and 15 cents, 2 to 8% is typically what we do. And we trade 1 hour a day, maybe a little longer on some days. We start at the market open. Occasionally we come back in the afternoon. Yeah.
Tim, explain why we do that in cents and then turn around and say the percentages. so people really understand you're using you're using options here. You're using
Sure. Yeah, the
and
reason that we
used to-
report in percentages is that's the most common way that we can report. If we all did in cents, because we're trading different amounts of contracts at different strike prices, so it will not make a consistent amount of sense. But if we all report in percentages, that's an equalizer. Gives us a better indicator of how we're doing, which is why we do it. We do percentage of return. And that just gives us a more uniform way to measure our returns on that. So we trade, we do ETFs. We trade primarily right now, currently, SPY and QQQ. I do QQQ. Micah and Deshaun focus a lot on SPY. Micah is stepping into some other things. And we usually have 3 screens open. We'll have QQQ, SPY, and either Microsoft or Apple up in the middle. Since those both influence both of our ETFs, we keep it up as a reference.
And when you're attending those seminars with these guys, you see those screens. I mean, you're seeing everything they're seeing, and they're talking you through it. And they say, okay, I'm getting ready to prep a trade. Okay, and they tell you what QQQ, if it's QQQ, what one they're prepping, and then they say, I'm buying it right now, BAMO. I just got it for this, and now I'm turning around and selling it. Because usually they're out in 15, 16, 20 seconds, something like that most. Sometimes 2 or 3 seconds. So you're seeing all this. In fact, you can go to YouTube and put in MicroMoment Trading, and we have a lot of those sessions recorded, the entire hour, but so you can get an idea for what they're doing. Go ahead, Tim. I just want to get that in. So.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I think it's the absolutely best way to learn what we do is by watching in real time as we do it. There's no way for us to, everything we do is transparent. We're reporting it as it happens. And you can see our numbers every day that Joe puts out. So, we start a few minutes before 9:30 Eastern and just talk a little bit about market conditions. We get in, we set up our trades. And as we do this, you learn what we're looking for in the charts. You see what the chart setups are that we're looking for, how we read the charts, and before long, you're reading them for yourself and making your own choices in and out of a trade. It's, I think, the fastest way to learn a technique and to become profitable within this technique. And we have, unlike Randy, his techniques, we basically have one rule, if you want to call it a rule, and that is, when it turns red, get out. That's 80% of what we do is learning how to exit a trade quickly. The profits take care of themselves. So when we see that price turn red, we get out immediately. And we're actually teaching you now how to get out before it turns red. We're looking for momentum. We like to jump in when it's moving and jump out while it's still moving. And that's what we do. It's really pretty simple. What we do.
Yeah. And they used to have that. They used to have that one technique. You had to get out of the same when it turns red. Randy, on the other hand, has multiple things. He has a manual, 300 something pages. It's developed over 20 years. But he takes a position. A lot of his positions, he does positions where he's in and out in his own little version of MicroMoment Trading. But then he's got the old traditional covered call ones, where you may be in them for your entire life. So he has lots of rules on how to continue making money after you get into the position. You got into it for, let's say, a 5% return. How to keep making that 5% or more forever. It goes to stocks. You don't want to sell it. It's going to go up and it's going to go down forever. And it's going to always go up. It's going to always go down. And but you're going to continue to make that money and, in essence, reduce your cost in the stock. And typically, within a 2-year period, you're not going to have any cost in the stock at all. Who wants to take that question?
You guys just
happy birthday! Well, I'll take that question. Thank you. Thank you. That's
Happy birthday!
Yeah. I thought, well, who has a birthday? They should take that question. Hi guys, just wanted to wish Joseph a happy birthday.
Absolutely.
Mary's been with us a long time. He's been with us a long time, and Marion's really getting this stuff. We really appreciate her. So
we do.
Yeah.
She's a real active member of our community, and we love her on the call every morning.
Yep.
And we're like a family on this call.
Yep.
It's
a
community.
I mentioned this morning that she just got back from Vegas, and I'm really getting concerned. I think she developed a real gambling habit, and she seems to spend a lot of time in Vegas. So I don't know. She'll come back and then.
Well, Tim was talking. I got another 1.8% return on SPX, and that was only 40 seconds, Tim.
Yeah.
It was funny. As I was talking, I was watching that put setup on Apple and Microsoft, and tried to get in and couldn't get filled. But I know people out there did.
It's the same. It was basically the same setup as SPX because it's still going down. If I would have, I just get in and out real quick.
Yeah.
Could have stayed in, I would have tripled my earnings on it. But I'm happy. 1.8% and 40.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah. We just take small bites all the time on this stuff. I'm sorry. I'm looking at Q here.
Yep.
Have you done a deal, Tim, since we've been on this thing?
I haven't. I tried to. I just couldn't get filled on one.
That was one of your chart setups there, Tim.
That's right.
Go through the lower Bollinger Band. It's still going.
It's still going.
And when they refer to our ICE charts, these are not the same charts that the feds that are called the ICE use. They use different charts. So
that's right.
And those are proprietary to you, Joe. Without those charts, you couldn't do this trading. What Tim and Micah do and teach, you can't just do that on your own. That you got to have that chart. That's what it's an educated process. It's not speculation.
All right.
Because of that chart, it allows you to see what's setting up for that equity to be able to get in at the appropriate time.
And what both of y'all do in these whichever related techniques you're showing, you're teaching people how to read that chart, be it more traditional stuff or certainly on the MicroMoment. And it makes it simple. Is there something that's telling them what to do? They're not sitting there thinking, speculating. Oh, I think QQQ is going to go up. I think QQQ is going to go down. You do what that chart tells you because that's what's going on right then. And it doesn't need to be. Well, you may do something. It doesn't make any difference when you're doing either one of their techniques if the stock's going up or down. They never turn on the computer in the morning and look over at the market and say, oh, it's down. The Dow's down today. It's going to be down. Oh, you don't. They go whichever way you go and it's fine. There's a technique either way to go.
Yeah. We just want it to move. What's going on with Q right now is just a perfect setup for a continuation on.
Yep.
In fact, I may have to jump in on this here a second.
Here he goes. Watch his eyes. Watch his eyes. It was suspicious eyes.
Here we go. Okay.
Yeah, that little sound was the trade executing.
Yep. 125. I'll let this turn down a little bit more. Up to 127. And
something's happening out there.
Yep, sure is. All right, so I just went in 125, got out at 129. So
fantastic. That's huge.
That was, I don't know, 10 seconds or so.
You got a at 120 what? 129?
129.
And you went in at 125?
125.
Okay. Now, see, that was 3.2%. That is the exact average of all last year of all the funds out there, retirement funds. This is a brand new statistic. Only earned 3.2% a year on average. A year. A year. He just did it in 15 or 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, and that's it. I mean, that's what we do, just like that.
And Tim, you can be done in the first hour of the day. You don't have to. You don't have to sit there all throughout the entire day. You're in and out, back to 100% cash.
Yes.
Go do whatever else you want to do. You don't have to have a worry or a care at all of what's going on with the market for the whole rest of the day. You start all over the next day.
That's it. That's it. That's one of my favorite parts of this technique is we are in cash 98% of the time.
And see, that's the difference between this and day traders. Day traders are speculators, and day traders, according to the CBOE, lose 85-90% of their money most of the time. This is not speculation. You know, you're taking you don't have to worry about something going out of business because number one, we're only trading, funds, indexes, and they're not going to go out of business. Mm-hmm. And you just do what the chart tells you to do, and then you're in that. You don't sit there and worry and do something thinking it's going to go up like a day trader does. So
yeah, exactly.
Well, guys, we have to call it an end here.
Okay.
Go to when you sign off this thing, sign back in on YouTube. Put in MicroMoment Trading, and I don't know how many of those charts that we rotate them around. Those sessions are recorded, and you can sit there, you can watch them and see what they do. If you have any idea about it. And Randy, do we have any viewers on YouTube?
On YouTube, I don't think so, but I think Micah's working on that kind of stuff.
Okay, good. Okay, good. We'll get that done, and don't forget we have that on the 29th, which is Saturday. We have that seminar for Tony, and or with Tony, and it's going to be good. And this it's $750 right now. You can get it for $500, and if you don't, just go to our website and you can sign up for it. Anyhow, sign up for the free cow report. Mm-hmm. And Maggie says, are the ice charts web-based, or are they included in the MMT service? The cost of the ice chart is included in the MMT service. You can also rent it separately on our toolbox. But if you take the MMT service, it comes for free. Yeah.
And they are web-based.
Yeah, web-based.
On the web, so you can get them from anywhere.
Okay.
Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, Bob. Bob says, thanks, guys. Oh, people can see it. Very informative information. So good. Mm-hmm. Okay, guys. Thank y'all very much. And I'll go ahead and hit the button and cut this off. And we will see y'all tomorrow at the regular sessions. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, everybody, for attending.
Well, have a good week.